Hey everyone, welcome to my Intro to Physics, episode 5. Today is going to involve multiple equations and finding and solving a ratio between them. Let's jump into reading the question. From the set of equations involving the unknowns p, q, r, s, and t, find the value of the ratio of t to r. So the question is asking to find a ratio between t to r. Well, what exactly does that mean? If we think in terms of a ratio of x to y, well, that would be x divided by y. So this is exactly the same concept. So we have a ratio of t to r, so we are looking for the ratio t divided by r. So our answer should look like t over r equals something. That will be our final equation. So we really have to manipulate the equations to find this. The t divided by r will equal something. Listing the set of equations, our first equation is p equals 3 times q. The second equation is p times r equals q times s. And the third equation is 1/2 times p times r squared plus 1/2 times q times s squared equals 1/2 times q times t squared. All our variables are given as in p, q, r, s, and t. With the list of equations written, we need to find out how to get a ratio of t to r. The first thing to do is look at the long equation and notice how each of the term has a 1/2. So we can actually just factor those out and just cancel them all on both sides. So this leaves just p times r squared plus q times s squared equals q times t squared. With no fractions anymore, this should be simple to deal with. Let's start manipulating and rearranging equations to see what we can do to help solve for our ratio. Let's start with the two more simple equations, leaving the one with a t variable for last. Taking the p equals 3q and dividing by 3, we can get q will equal p over 3. Now taking p times r equals q times s, and dividing by r, we can get p equals q times s divided by r. Taking the same p times r equals q times s, and dividing by p this time, we get r equals q times s divided by p. Again, taking that same p times r equals q times s, and now dividing by s, we get q equals p times r divided by s. And finally, taking p times r equals q times s one last time, and now dividing by q, we'll get s equals p times r divided by q. Now, with our rearranged variables, we can start solving and simplifying all the rest of the variables. Looking at the equations given, we should be able to try and plug in for either a p or q with that simple equation we were given, p equals 3q. So let's try to plug that in another simplified equation of p equals q times s divided by r. Substituting that in, we can get 3q will equal q times s divided by r. With this equation, we have a q on both sides and thus can cancel them out, leaving 3 equals s over r. Multiplying by r on both sides gives s equals 3r. Or cross-multiplying, we can also get r equals s over 3. This actually looks really useful as we gotten rid of the two other variables of p and q. Looking at all the rest of the equations, trying to plug in to any of the other ones doesn't seem to give us any more info and help us in any other way. So it looks like we may have found all we need so far. So let's go ahead and start substituting for our big equation now. There is the relationship between p and q with p equals 3q. So if we plug this into our big equation, so this becomes 3q times r squared plus q times s squared equals q times t squared. Since we have gotten rid of our p and we have one less variable, we should have all the equations we have, and now time to calculate out the rest. We should first notice how each term now includes a q, so we can factor this out and just cancel out all the q's on both sides. We are now left with 3r squared plus s squared equals just t squared. P and q are now completely gone, just leaving r, s, and t. There happens to be an equation we can plug in for s that relates to our r. That will leave us with just our r and t in the final equation. Taking our s equals 3r, we can substitute that in to get 3r squared plus 3r total squared equals t squared. Taking the power, we should get 3r squared plus now 9r squared equals t squared. Adding the r squares together, we get a total of 12r squared equals t squared. Remembering our ratio is t divided by r, let's go ahead and divide by r squared on both sides to get the t and r on the same side. So cross out the r squared on the left side, and with t squared over r squared equals 12, all we have to do left is square root all the terms here to leave us with our final ratio of t divided by r equals plus or minus the square root of 12. So from this set of equations, we have found the ratio of t to r to be plus or minus the square root of 12. I hope these intro problems are as helpful for you as they are for me. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you come back to learn more exciting material, and I'll see you next time.